Hello there team, so this is a 3v3 from last night on Pelenor Fields. I'm playing as canned, which is a bit abnormal for me, but I do enjoy the canned roster. Over here on my right, I've got Angmar, and on the left I have Fluff as Rune. In front of us, we'll just have to see, that'll be a bit of a surprise. I know I've got Cardlin over here, no, that's Mordor, and then these are the Dwarves of Erebor. So we set up all pretty in the center. Since usually when I am in the middle, unless one person specifically says I want to be out on my own, I will always deploy in the center of my deployment zone. Sometimes you do benefit from cuddling up as a duo and then rushing one person, but usually I like to be in the center so that I can aid both sides or be aided by both sides. I've got a pretty balanced army as far as can goes. Up the front, these two nomadic infantry, then some Variag bowmen over there. So pretty sturdy archer line and all relatively capable in melee, as you can usually get from Can's roster. Up the front here I have 3 units of Nurad footmen. Absolutely abysmal attack, but they are armor piercing, and I believed up against Cardlin, with their exceptionally armored units, I was hoping to make use of those, but the main purpose of those Nurad footmen are to really take damage and protect my halberdiers, who are the real killing power. I've got 3 of them. At the back here, some Nurad war chiefs. That's where I put my general. As I say, I like foot generals because I find that's where my men are going to be routing most. Having a mounted general is great because you can run back and forth, but I tend to put them on the ground nowadays. In the back here, nomadic warriors, and then nomadic light infantry with an armor upgrade there. And then over on the other side, some more nomadic warriors. Plan for them is really just large flanks when it's safe. Cav, I've got 2 nomadic light cavalry there. Nice cheap horse archers, Brotherhood of the Lance, Nurad retainers, pretty cheap melee cav, and then my Nurad windblades, who I've never really used before, so I've seen them getting used a lot, and I was quite excited to give them a try. Over here, as Rune, we've got some Camel's Dragon Knights, some Eastron clan chiefs, and more cavalry over here, some Loke Innis Rim, and more Loke Innis Rim, so quite a sturdy cavalry force from both of us, really. And then here he's got some Eastron crossbows, 2 units of them. He's still setting up here some Eastron guard. At the back, Eastron clansmen with a lot of armor there. Plan for them is really just to shield his halberdiers from a bit of ranged fire and also bog down troops in melee. I think they also have a melee upgrade actually, so they can definitely get some kills against the lower tier Mordor troops that he'll be facing. Then these Gamp Rim, 3 of them, or 2 of them maybe. Yep. Nope. I'm seeing 2. So that's good. Nice, effective halberdiers there. Then 2 Lok Nar Rim at the back, so decent amounts of archers from both of us. He's got these 2 crossbows and then 2 quite nice archers. I've got 4 archers. So we weren't feeling like we'd have to be on the aggressive, which I was happy with. Flag Rim, 1 on either side. And then the Eastron Guard, he wasn't too sure, he had a bit of money left, so I usually recommend if you've got some money and you aren't really too sure what to do with it, grabbing a unit of spears just to respond to cavalry threats is never really a bad thing. And the Eastron Guard are, quite decent in melee compared to a lot of other spears. Up against infantry anyway. Over here we've got the Angmar by Agalar. Orc Fellers on the left. He's probably still setting up as well actually. But some Angmar halberdiers. Got some Snagga Stalkers up there. And then as always Barrow Whites heading up here. Some Snagga Archers actually heading there too. Some Warg Skirmishers. I don't really use Warg Skirmishers too much. I think that maybe I will give them a try. But I tend to just, whenever I use wargs, it's usually just to counter enemy cavalry, which warg skirmishers can do quite nicely. Anyway, so Witch Realm Scourge Raiders with the armor upgrade, I believe. Up at the front, Angmar Halberds, more of them. Witch Realm Pikes, 1, 2. Then some more Angmar Halberds, so pretty sturdy phalanx army, which you see a lot with Angmar. Orc Fellers on that side too, and the Witch Realm Scourge Raiders. Another unit of Snagastalkers here. These are Warg Riders, just the standard, not the skirmishers. Witch Realm Hammer Guard, which that's where he's got his general, and the Witch Realm Inquisitors. So we'll go back up into normal speed. I don't think we're too far away from the match starting. I wanted sort of just to deploy quite close because I wanted to be immediately in archer range, so that if he's set up, I can hit him right away. Now I should state right at the start, in for fairness' sake, Captain Gervais has to go AFK for around about 5 minutes, but it's during a pretty pinnacle moment, so it's that definitely does have an effect, and I'll try and spot when I feel that happens. But it's still a pretty dang good battle nonetheless. And we can see these, as I say, I always look out for stakes. I was looking out for them with Cardlin to try and see where he'd deploy, and I was also trying to check out for Mordor. But Mordor and Erebor have placed them down, and but I think by that point, I think Fluff had already put in his position. So we'll rattle through quite quickly what the enemies have brought to bear against us. And Mordor, Maranon archers, 2 of them. Orc fodder, quite a nice swarm of orc fodder there. Good bit of distance between these units. Minas Morgul chosen, probably just in case one of us brought an artillery piece. It's quite good to space yourself out. And if, once you realise there's no artillery, you can scrunch up to avoid cav. Maranon halberds there at the back. And then the Nazgul. Temple Inquisitors here. And some Oleg High. Some Maranon heavy maulers over there on the side, and the Black Legion Barad-dûr. With Temple Executioners, have they got the armor upgrade? They do. I do like the look of them with that. I've had to lower the graphics. I just couldn't get this game launched up with the high level of graphics, which was too bad. And the Melkor's Chosen. So Melkor's Chosen and Temple Inquisitors, we were kind of worried about our cav advantage very quickly disappearing. Now, what I was very upset about was the lack of armoured units from Cardlin. I brought a very armour-piercing army, so I was pretty upset about this. But civilians here on his flank, backed up by some mercenary war chiefs. Back, Tharbad riders. Leading the front, basically the exact same thing as I do, 2 sharpshooters and a guardians. He hasn't gone for an armour upgrade in his guardians though. And something I never really make use of is this phalanx formation, which you see a lot in Reforged with garrison footmen and garrison spears. And you see this with most armies can pull off something like this, but Cardlin can do it in a very cheap way. And it's even though these units are pretty cheap, very militia tier, it's quite intimidating to see them all bunched up like that. Dunedain captains there. Some Wardens of Tir and Gorthad, nice and spaced out so I can kill them as easily. And on this side there, Tharbad Warhammers, trying to make use of the inspirational benefits of all of his units, I'm sure. And Minas Grithlin Spearmen on the flank. So this is pretty different from how I play Cardlin, as you know. And he's gone for the Royal Court, and that's where he has his general. Yeah. Over here on the side with Erebor, quite a few cav. Which is interesting to see. Mercenary cav, the Ironfoot Hammer Guard, and then over there some more mercenary cav. Are there more Hammer Guard over there? No, well, no more Hammer Guard, but no more goats. So 3 units of cav is quite large to see from the dwarves. Ironfoot Spears, the Blacklock Engineers, over there on the flank. Ironfoot Crossbows, Ironfoot Spears there again. Some Highborns of Erebor, is that where he's got his general? Looks like it, yep. Then, making up the bulk of his force, some Iron Foot Warriors mixed in with these pikes. Some more pikes with another unit of Iron Foot Warriors there. Some Erebor Legionnaires too. And another unit of crossbows on this flank. And the spears. So, much smaller than his Angmar adversary. These halberds will definitely have a good go at getting through this tough dwarven armour, as will those fellers. But the pikes might struggle a bit. So we'll go up to the normal speed and just get started. As you might have spotted, there were a few little arrows making their way over, hitting into the sharpshooters, which I outranged. This is something that really does annoy me when I'm playing as Cardlin. When I go for my very crossbow heavy force, just getting outranged. But I'm sure he's not too upset because, let's say, I'm really not getting too many kills. This is what I mention a lot. You know, these guys do have spears. Now he does something here which is really clever, and he does it quite a few times. I lunged forward just to get a better shot on some of his units, and he comes out at me, and I screw up with this order. Yeah, it was dumb. Yeah, no real excuse for it, I'm afraid. But he pulls off some good charges. But what he does that's even better is when he starts pulling out, I get a good go. He immediately has his crossbows ready to start hitting. And it took me a little while to catch on. But these charges are really, of course, if he can get a lucky charge into my archers, then good for him. But his main goal with this is I've got to respond to his cav advances. I've got to put something out to pull him back, because I don't really have any spears I can quickly do that with. So all he's doing is I run out, and then he gets to shoot me with his crossbows. Now, of course, he pulled off a little bit bad there, with a lot of these Starbad Riders going down. But you'll see it pulled off a bit better in one of the later stages. Now, these nomadic light cav, I'm never really too sure what to do with horse archers. I'm just sort of pushing them up, trying to score some hits on his cavalry, on his elite units down here. And if he uses a crossbow volley on my light cav, I'm really not overly upset about that. Over here on this side, oh, the Oleg High actually made a charge at my cav, which kind of scared me. I had to pull my archers back. But I get the Brothers of the Lance in there, just wanting to give them a charge, and then I walk them back. Now I meant to give them that run order, and he gets these Roman Guardians, no shield, not that shield is going to matter on their backs anyway. Takes out a lot of them, so that was upsetting for me. As I say, I thought I gave them the run order. Didn't mean to walk them back. Fluff's here with these Eastron clan chiefs. Just coming in trying to pull off a cheeky charge there. Thread the needle between these pikes and these Orc Fodder. Now, Orc Fodder are spearmen. Not good spearmen, but they're spearmen still. And with these Templar Inquisitors getting around them, that's dangerous. Yeah. Eastron clansmen just shielding the crossbows there. Thanks, Fluff. Hey. So, what do we have going on? Yeah, so I sent these guys over. I wanted to try and hit the Temple Inquisitors. Yep, thanks, Fluff. I think he thinks I'm in a game or something along those lines. Temple Inquisitors don't have a shield, so just hitting away at them with my nomadic light cav, I felt pretty good about that. Between me and the crossbows no doubt did a lot more damage, but I was pretty comfortable with him getting killed there. See, so he does it again. I get my guys back, but he's not trying to actually hit them. I don't feel he's just wanting me to get my wind blades out and shoot them. So I'm gonna try that a few times actually in my next battle. I'm gonna try to tease the enemy cavalry to respond to my kind of my faked cav charges. I can maybe even use the mercenary cav if it's not an adversary that is too experienced. He might fall for it. Which Roman Inquisitors you would easily be able to chew through some mercenary cav there. Barrow-wights very slowly trudging forward across the open field. Crossbows will be able to deal a bit of damage, but you just don't want to use crossbow ammo on those Barrow-wights. Very cool cav engagements over here. These Hammer Guard will blitz Warg Riders though. Oh, the skirmishers are going to be getting caught there. If he gets his Inquisitors over on this side, that could be very beneficial. You can see he is doing that. Ooh, did it happen already? Yeah, already. See, these are down to 15. This was a screw up on my part. I was charging at those guys. I think I looked over at my nomadic light cav for a minute, and I allowed them to get all the way over here, and they actually got jabbed by some pikes, and they were routed for a little minute. And I think Arsenal was hoping they would rout all the way off the field, but luckily once they reached my lines, they composed themselves. So I'm doing what I do in quite a few battles really, which try to micromanage my cav to assist my allies, while I just hold the line. Tharbad Riders coming forward. They do have the shield, they do have some armor, but they will take some damage to archers. This time round, oh no, I do try and pull them back again. But I lunge forward some footmen just to try and grab these guys. As I say, I fall for this way too often. It was really a big screw up on my part. And you can see I'm getting kills on his crossbows, but it's nothing significant. And I've used up a lot of ammunition rattling away at them, so the attack has begun here. These Eastron Guard will definitely chew through these archers, and they'll kill the Orc fodder too without too much difficulty. But the Olokai have been thrown in there. Now crossbows could deal some damage to those Olokai here actually. Over on the side. Have I started doing this yet? No. So I think, yeah, you can see these men are just not really reacting. I think this is when Gervais had to go AFK. Oh wait, no, not yet. No. But you see, if you had to leave this army unattended for even a minute, then when the clash is about to occur, it's not good. Especially when I start getting some cav around and hitting him, he just can't respond to it. Orc fellers stuck into those mercenary cav. It starts to get a bit confusing, of course, as these battles always tend to do. Sharpshooter is brought around just to shoot into the flanks of these men. I think I allow him to... Have I started to move my cav over yet? No, not yet. I send over the Brotherhood of the Lance. There they are. Good. Now what am I using them for? I was just wanting to try and win these fights a little bit faster. We were doing pretty well with them. Oh, if I could have gotten around there and hit them, but no, the black blocks are where I'm wanting to go. Oh, come on. Really? Oh, they didn't. Oh, that was... No, they were the Brotherhood of the Lance. I don't know why they couldn't pull out their lances there. That was a bit of a distance for them to charge. But with the hammer guard stuck in there, I felt pretty good. Like, yeah, this is easy. But with these crossbows so close, they're just able to... Every shot is going to hit. And black blocks are sturdy. So I decided to move my lancers in there again. They didn't pull out their lances. That's unfortunate. I didn't notice that. I was wondering why they weren't doing much damage. I'll need to try and just give them a little more room next time. Now, since we're not fighting here, this was something that was definitely a bit annoying to Agalar. Since I wasn't engaging Cardlin, Cardlin could do the same thing I was doing. He could just micro his cav and send them over here. But I'm starting to lunge forward now. Not so much to engage him, but more to make him spend his attention looking at me. These archers, near enough wiped out, but the main fight is still to occur. A lot of orc fodder from Mordor. Black Legion Barad-dûr. I tend, well, I'm not really a Mordor player when it comes to field battles, but I tend not to really bring the Black Legion in a field. But just because their attack values are not actually as good as, well, for their cost. They're certainly not bad on the attack, but you know, they're really for I use them a lot in sieges, of course, to just bust holes in lines, and you can actually do that sort of thing in a pitched battle when you've got an enemy's phalanx line. But up against a force like this, these flag rim will win that fight. I would say, especially considering the overwhelming numbers he's got here. Are these guys out of ammo? Yes, they are, but they're not terrible in melee. So certainly not the end of the world. So with him still having a few crossbows left, yes, so Tharbad riders managed to finish off those hammer guard, or at least kill the general in them. So he's forcing him to attack now, which is always good if you can make your enemy attack. No, Fluff! Oh no! Oh, it's not as bad as it could have been. I think he did notice it. He did notice it. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, dang. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's quite a few guys lost there. And those Milkers chosen. Yeah, you need every man you can get if you want to stand against them. These Eastern Guard could have maybe just rushed in there while these guys they would have got devoured, but holding them in place, good. He does notice that and he gets them over. Oh, and a rear charge, even from just missile infantry in a fight that they're already going to lose. It's not going to last. Typical executioners, I'm surprising that they're having trouble there. I don't think they are. I think it's just not yet properly updated. What have we got over here on the side now? Yeah, so I've moved over. I've got a now flank shot. I'm dropping a few more of his guys now with this much closer range, more accurate shooting. Killed one or two of those Dunedin captains. They are my target at this point. So I was hoping to land a few more kills. Perhaps I should have even moved closer than that and gotten a real point blank. Now I see what he's doing here. He's moving, and I think he's probably given out a group order, and the game has kind of screwed it up. So I should have attacked sooner, but I do attack very shortly now. But it's always great to interrupt your enemy while he's maneuvering his army. Over here on the side, yeah, so as you can see, a lot of these troops just haven't been getting moved. Gervais did let us know that he had to go AFK for a minute, but you can't really show mercy in a group fight. If you're in a 1v1, of course, like, you know, you hold back for a few minutes, but not when your allies are sort of relying on you to push on. But dwarves are holding, as they do. They'll take a long time to get minced. And now I'm attacking. So you can see he's basically fully formed up by this point. I should have acted so much sooner and gotten in there. Now I was worried, because although my Nurad halberds are of higher quality than his garrison footmen are pikes against my halberds, and I'm not exceptionally well armoured, as you can see. You know. So it wasn't a guaranteed win for me. I was sort of relying on how weakened his force had been from my sort of constant archer fire. My guys still have a bit of ammunition, but they're running out. Those nomadic infantry are done. But again, this is the same thing I did against Corrigan in a previous fight. When you're relying on this pipeline, I can just... There's a lot of space I've got, you know, I can just get around you. So I've got these nomadic warriors, I've got these nomadic infantry in a minute that I'm just going to bring around. The Nurad units are going to hold, as is the job of the Nurad units. What I probably should have done is just engaged his flanks. I had no real reason to engage the centre position. And if he had moved that centre position, then I engage it, so oh well. As you can see, I was quite surprised that my men were really... they were tearing stuff up here, actually. Over here on the flank, Mordor is now... What's left of Mordor is getting surrounded. These Melkor's Chosen are always going to be a terrible foe. So that's the end of the Dwarven General. Dragon Knights will attempt to fight the Melkor's Chosen, but I think it's pretty decent what he's sort of doing with just letting him get caught up with his infantry. There's no point in fighting the Melkor's Chosen if you don't have to. But I think with micromanaging everything, he's going to get caught eventually. Those Olokai are still standing. They are not going to go down. Well, they will go down soon under those halberdiers. So yep, I rush on forward, engaged his mercenary war chiefs and his civilians with my nomadic infantry and some nomadic warriors. Which I never really use mercenary war chiefs. I'm just not too fond of them. So I felt pretty comfortable about that section of the fight. I felt that this main battle line was where I was going to struggle, but I was surprised and very happy to see that throughout most of the line I was winning. And even on the right flank was basically crumbling through. Spearmen are beating my nomadic warriors there, but coming for a quick charge on their flank, and these men are about to run out of ammunition. I bring them around just to rout that unit of spears and free up these infantry. I've still got lots of Nurad retainers, but not for long, because those sharpshooters are there, and they are opening fire into me. Mixed in amongst the retainers, I have some wind blades. The retainers hopefully absorbing their ammunition. Well, the ammunition from the crossbows. 6 Royal Court could still deal some serious damage to me, so I dedicate those wind blades just to chasing down the Royal Court. Wind blades are a bit faster, and those Royal Court are still fresh. So, so I'm just chasing them for a long time with the Nurad. I just don't want them to come in and hit me. This is more just to engage the sharpshooters rather than kill them. But I just want to, every time I sort of see them firing upon me, I want to stop them firing until I can break through this line and engage them. Now, where are his guardians? His guardians are the real threat here. Ah, good. My warblades managed to catch them. Windblades, sorry. But these guardians, he's very good with those. Sort of gets them all the way around just to mince into this position. But since I've got the spare numbers here, I just drag off one unit that was on the left flank anyway and send them on over to engage them. Now they will beat them. These are just nomadic warriors. Again, that was a mistake. I think I ordered them to attack from here and they just picked the center of the unit. I should have dragged them around. Windblades, certainly not known for their charge, but I bring them on the flank and try to give a few goes toward them, just because I feel I can win here. But these guardians, if they can use up all of their ammo, those guardians can make the difference. Not very efficiently routing Tharbad riders there, but they're trying to get out. Do I have some assistance? Yes, Angmar is now coming to assist, which I was very grateful for. But yeah, I would have loved to have seen how this battle would have gone had it was pretty close, you know. So had Gervais been there to resist that attack, I would have loved to have seen like what he could have done. Because I'm not very skilled with dwarves, and I always like seeing them fight and try to pick up some tips. But no, certainly a very close fight nonetheless. Just wasting wind blades. There's no more cav on the field for them to fight, so just getting them stuck in and holding the attention of these guardians for as long as I can, so that I can just finish here and get something over there. All that Mordor has left now are the... where are they? It's just the Nazgul. But I'm trying to spot them. They're very tough to come across. No, I'm not sure. I think they might even be hiding right now. Interesting. Yeah, no, they're not here anyway. So, but they're the last unit that Mordor has remaining on the field. And there's a bit of a mass rout now with the loss of the elite units, the morale buffing units that Cardinal has and really relies upon. This militia line will start to falter. Yeah, so 50 men, you know, when you've got 50 men routing, even 50 militiamen routing, it's always pretty sad to see. What has he got here? I think these are still some Dunedain captains. Oh, some Tharbad Warhammers, yeah, see, so they were on the right flank. They shuffled round to the left, and I think had they remained there, perhaps that line would have stayed standing for a little bit longer. But with me totally surrounding it, I would have killed those men anyway. and probably not taking too many losses for it. So if he saw a good target over here for the Tharbad Warhammers, it was probably a good idea for him to move them over. Donating captain there, I think. Yeah. But now we've got everything routing out over there. Something's actually coming back. Do I send something at them? Yes, I can't remember if he admits defeat, or I think he just wanted to fight until these guardians were gone, which I definitely don't blame him for. Oh yeah, I gathered everything up together, so I actually stopped that charge, which was foolish of me, and then I realised what was going on and charged them in. I don't think I give them time to have a shot though. No, good. They are in guard mode, so they will get that shot off anyway. But no, he gathers his guys up, and which, had I given them a little bit longer for those footmen to get sort of a good position, then I would have no doubt lost a few more guys fighting through this. Have those Nazgul appeared yet? Yes, yeah. So you can see they're here. They're fighting away up against the Eastern crossbows. They are not going to stand a chance against the Nazgul. But getting some halberdiers in position. And is that actually all Fluff has left? I thought he had more. I think he's got some men coming over from the far side there. Whoa, that was a close scrap over here. Yeah, I wonder what killed the Melkor's Chosen in the end. I'll just have to ask Fluff. But oh, still one knight there, standing. Probably should have asked that one knight to come over here, slam those guardians. Could have maybe broken them. I always like to. Oh, good. So you admitted defeat there. You definitely could have racked up a few more kills. Yes, with the halberdiers coming in and the very busted up Nazgul, they're not going to last too long. I'll bump it up to 2 speed, just to because this is the last of the fight. Yeah, it would have taken a long time to kill those last 3 guys. So I was really chuffed with how that fight went. I see, even with Gervais jumping out for a bit, he racked up a lot of kills, which you usually will going up against an Orc army, but it still should be stated. Nurad Warchiefs was chuffed. They lost one guy. They were going up against a pike line, so they weren't fighting any elites throughout the entire fight though, so that could have been a bit different had they done so. Nurad Fitman, 1, 2, 3. They did their job. They, especially, you know, racking up more kills there. Going up against the front of a pike line, you're always going to be happy to come out with positive kills. But it's the halberdiers. The footmen were mainly there to shield the halberdiers, as I say. But saying that, some of them didn't really rack up too many kills. But I guess outranged by pikes, and the armor-piercing benefit of the halberdiers was kind of lost on that pike line. So it's fair enough, I suppose. Nomadic infantry, they did just fine. As I say, I don't think there was any real hero of my army here. I think everything just performed pretty well. Nurad Windblades racked up quite a lot of kills. Keep in mind that most of the kills they got were, you know, Royal Court or, you know, something rather nice. Retainers did quite well. The Brothers of the Lance, I didn't know they weren't charging properly. I screwed up there. Yeah, they should have really broken those dwarven lines with those charges. So that was just a big screw up for me. And allowing them to get shot by those crossbows was bad too. Nomadic like Cav, yep. I underused them, I feel. You know, I just let them use up all their ammo, and then by the time they had used their ammo, I was in a very tense situation. So I couldn't really use them too well as, you know, poor melee Cav. I just sort of threw them into various fights to hold things back. Nomadic warriors coming around. I'd say they just came around the flanks, and I would have hoped they did better, to be honest. Especially one of them was chewing away at civilians for a while, and no, Apart from that, yep, fluffed it pretty good. He had more men remaining than I thought. I guess it does count routed men, but no, that was good. Angmar still could have gone again with the guys he had left. I think, yeah, as I said before, would have loved to have seen that if Gervais didn't have to go. Would have been cool to see how he was hoping to hold back that swarm. Arsenal, some pretty impressive cav moves there against me, just screwing me up time and time again. And then did see when I wasn't a threat, moved his cav over to assist Gervais. And Hazrama, yeah, pulled off quite a few kills there. I think maybe the Black Legion and Barad-dûr were not the best choice for a field battle, but yeah, I mean, maybe if the Black Legion had been pushed in with the main army to bust through the halberd line or something like that. But no, yeah, it was a nice battle.